The affirmation for today is on devotion. Listen to these words from Affirmations for Self-Healing by Swami Kriyanandaji. No good end is ever reached without devotion. No true success is achieved unless the heart's feelings are involved. Willpower itself is a combination of energy and feeling directed toward fulfillment. In the quest for God, the unfolding of the heart's natural love in the form of deep devotion is the prime requisite for success. Without devotion, not a single step can be taken towards Him. Devotion is no sentiment. It is the deep longing to commune with and know the only reality there is. Please affirm out loud with me, and then more and more quietly, and then mentally. With the sword of devotion, I sever the heartstrings that tie me to delusion. With the sword of devotion, I sever the heartstrings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. With the sword of devotion, I sever the heartstrings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. With the sword of devotion, I sever the heartstrings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. Mentally now, with the sword of devotion, I sever the heartstrings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. Now pray silently with me, beloved Father, Mother God, I am thine alone. Let others seek thee or seek thee not. It matters not to my love for thee. Through all life's trials, my prayer is this alone: reveal thyself. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's have the whispers reading and then reading from the Bhagavad Gita.
This is a reading from Whispers from Eternity by Paramahansa Yogananda ji. God, God, God. From the depths of slumber, as I ascend the spiral stairway of wakefulness, I will whisper, God, God, God. Thou art the food, and when I break my fast of nightly separation from thee, I will taste thee and mentally say, God, God, God. No matter where I go, the spotlight of my mind will ever keep turning on thee, and in the battle din of activity, my silent war cry will be, God, God, God. When boisterous storms of trials shirk, and when worries howl at me, I will drown their noises loudly chanting, God, God, God. When my mind weaves dreams with threads of memories, then on that magic cloth will I emboss, God, God, God. Every night, in time of deepest sleep, my peace dreams and calls joy, 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 and my joy comes singing evermore, God, God, God. In waking, eating, working, dreaming, sleeping, serving, meditating, chanting, divinely loving, my soul will constantly hum, unheard by any, God, God, God.
Today's reading from the essence of the Bhagavad Gita is the path to God is not like plodding wearily over a barren desert in hope of finding an oasis. Every step of the way becomes more beautiful, verdant, flowery, and infinitely varied. The longer one meditates with sincerity, the more his senses become refined. Colors become to him more beautiful, sounds more thrilling, scents more delightful. All life becomes for him increasingly wonderful. When he is able to penetrate behind the physical senses, the subtle astral senses provide him with even keener delight. He must go beyond even astral experiences. But it is encouraging to know that those inner sights and sounds become far more wonderful, smells more pleasurable, tastes entrancing. Yogananda wrote once that God can come to the devotee as 1,000 delectable tastes, all crushed into one. As for the sense of touch, sex desires makes one seek pleasure in touching and being touched through the skin. But this touch is a pale substitute for the thrill of touching everything from within through expanded consciousness. One should live more wholeheartedly right now, enjoying his yoga practices, thinking of this moment, not of the future, but simply loving God in the present and offering oneself up to the Lord without any expectation of a reward. You should remind yourself indeed that there is no you to be rewarded. The chief reason people get discouraged in their expectation of specific results. Learn to expect nothing. It is not joy enough. Is it not joy enough to be at least seeking Him and not running ceaselessly toward mirage images that, as you know full well, will evaporate even as you approach them? God is the only answer to man's quest for happiness. What more do you need than that you think may satisfy you before you once again start seeking Him? Om.
Thank you for those great readings, both of them. And it's a joy to share with you all today on this topic of seek ye first the kingdom of God. We had a meditation here this morning. I saw a couple of you here, and maybe many of you were online. There were dozens and dozens of people who were here online. It's called The Experience of God. I hope you all will attend upcoming ones. And it was focusing on deepening our experience of God through the spine. It was an hour and a half. I would say it was so profound we couldn't talk afterwards. I thought, this is what seeking God first is. You can't talk. You don't have any desires. Your attachments are gone. You don't have any thoughts of others that you want to have close to you, or any feelings of touch, anything of the senses. You're just gone. We have to realize that's our path. And Swamiji said on the talk today that death is, going deep in meditation is a little death. You leave your body, you leave your senses, you leave your relationships, you leave your possessions, you leave everything that you think is so important. And that meditation helped me to understand this is where we're headed on this path. It's not a little kirtan, it's not going to a satsang, it's not doing a little bit of seva, it's going within deeply. And what does that really mean? Seek ye first the kingdom of God. These are the words of Jesus Christ. And all these things will be added unto you. Now, the question is, what is the kingdom of God? I mean, it's all sounding wonderful. And I was brought up in a church where there were many quotes, there were many people saying many things, but I didn't understand any of it, nor did they. But I was brought to my guru. I was brought to the teachings. I was brought to Kriya. I was brought to Swamiji. And then I started to understand, what is the kingdom of God? Well, we know take our energies from going outward to the senses, to I need this, I have to have this, I got to have a desire for this, I have to taste this, I have to touch this, I have to feel this, I have to smell this. It's endless. As that Bhagavad Gita reading was saying. Masters had cut the sense telephone wires. They're always calling you outside yourself. I have this attitude, I don't like this person, I like this person, I'm up and down. Emotions, it's a roller coaster. Do you like it? I don't. You can step off of the roller coaster at a certain point and say, I'm not going there anymore. So the kingdom of God, Jesus Christ said, who Master said was a yogi. He practiced Kriya Yoga. He taught it to his close disciples. He's on our altar. He said, the kingdom of God is within. Very easy, clear teaching. And Master came to bring how to go within. All sounds wonderful, flowery, good words, good philosophy. How many people understand? Not a whole lot. And so the kingdom of God, once we start magnetizing the spine, as we did this morning in that meditation through different practices, Master gave so many. He said, if you do 1/100th of what I give you, you can find God. He gave so many. And so we did a few of them, and you do them in your meditations every day, and I hope you're doing them, but they cut the senses off, and you just, energy goes right in and up. And once you take that energy in and up, you don't want anything else. You don't have to fear anything anymore. As that beautiful chant goes. But you have to be able to do that yourself every day. Kriya every day. Meditation deeply, deeper and deeper and deeper. Cutting the sense telephones and withdrawing. So what is the kingdom of God? Where is it? In the chakras. It's in the nadis, in the sushumna. It's at the kutastha. Nobody knows. Unless they're a deep soul. And these masters have come. Our whole line of gurus came to show, what does it mean to go into the kingdom of God? What is the kingdom of God? How do you get in there? They came to show. We're blessed to have been drawn onto the path of truth where they show you how to find that kingdom of God. You can look for it. You can talk about it. You can pray to somebody about it. You can shout about it. You can do anything. But if you don't know how to get in, you'll never get there. And so these masters have come so that we can realize this path that we are on, the teachings that we have, the techniques that we have, they will take us inside to realize God. And I remember my friend and I, Melbra, we were university students, and you know, we went to church every day, it seemed like, and when I was brought up, at least Sunday, all day, there was always a program. I loved Jesus. I didn't understand a word. That was a long time of hearing the preacher go on and on. And nobody really got it. And my friend and I, Melbra, we would study the Bible. I mean, I was into it. I could feel the blessings of, I think it was Master just said, come on, I'll bring you back. I studied. We would sit and we'd have the Bible open and we'd read a passage and I'd say, Melbra, do you understand that? And she said, no. She said, did you get it? I said, no. Let's try another one. We go to the next one. Melbra, did you? No. We didn't understand anything. Nothing. Until I came, by God's grace, onto the path. And it was the same. Dr. Lewis, he came to Master. He read the Bible. He heard what Jesus Christ said. Jesus Christ was a great master and yogi and one of our masters. And Dr. Lewis, he was drawn. And he said to Master, I read this here in the Bible. It says, if thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. He said, Master, brown skin, in America. That wasn't a good thing then. He had the long hair. And that wasn't a good thing either. And he said, and if maybe he had on orange robes. He was Indian in America in the 20s. Nobody knew about India then. So there's Master, is big, and Dr. Lewis saying, I read this. Do you understand? I've asked many a minister. That's what you call an acharya there. I've asked many. They don't know what it means. And he said, do you know what that means? And Yogananda ji said, I think so. And he said, have you seen the light he's talking about here? And Master said, I think so. And he said, can you show me? What a great answer. I think so. Wow. Master asked him to love him always. Then he showed him that light, and he showed him yoga, how to withdraw into the kingdom of God. Rajarsi Janakananda came to Master. He was a multimillionaire. This is what I love about this. It's not the kingdom of God is in the Himalayas, in a cave. I remember at one class I asked, it was Hyderabad, I think, I said, now does anybody here have a cave? And one man raised his hand. I said, I'll meet you afterwards. But who has a cave? Here, look where we're living. There's traffic, there's pollution, there's overpopulation, there's all kinds of problems here. But we're still seeking God. And that's the wonderful thing about it. And so Master, so here was Rajarsi Janakananda, and he comes to Master. He was a nervous wreck. I hope you're not. He was a nervous wreck. And he said, after the first time I went to his talk, first meeting, I was never nervous again because Master had blessed him. And then he showed him how to go inside, how to take his energy, how to withdraw inside. And when Swamiji went to Master, he said that his whole life was, he said it was a disaster. He was just so looking for something that would be meaningful. And Master blessed him, and Swamiji said, from that moment that he blessed me, I changed from that moment. Are we changing? I hope so. All you have to do is look at the faces of those people. Look at them. Look at your face in the mirror. And the Master was sitting across from that actor, Warner Rowland was his name, on the train. And the man kept saying, what are you looking at? He was saying to Master. And Master said, I'm looking at you because I have to keep looking at your face. And the man's face didn't look good. Those faces don't look good. We don't want to look like that. We came to be a lighthouse. We came to be peaceful. We came to be uplifted. We came to be joyful. We came to be examples of the yogis. Are you an example of the yogis? This is the point of it. And so seeking God first. I remember I heard those words after college. I had the things everybody says you'll be happy. I wasn't happy at all. It was God's grace. I wasn't happy. And so I was just out of college, and I just started thinking, there's gotta be something. It's gotta be. That was good karma. I could almost hear the Master saying, there is something, there is. And then I found, by God's grace, Autobiography of a Yogi, and I read the great stories of Pranabananda and Rama raised from the dead, and Master blessed from having cholera, and the Swami Sriteswarji, resurrection, and two penniless boys in Vrindavan. I cried for joy. Did I understand it? No, but I felt it. And I said, these yogis, they found the kingdom of God. I want to find the kingdom of God. If it takes me forever, I'm going to get on this path. And by God's grace, I went to Ananda. I was a young, wild person. Not that wild, but wild enough. So I go to Ananda, and I meet Swami Kriyananda. Wow, for those of you who'd never met him, he was the greatest yogi I ever met. He was in his 50s. there was Master Shakti just flowing out of him. His talks were amazing. His blessings. I must have taken dozens of Kriyas from Swamiji, heard hundreds of his talks, sat in the row like you all over, and he's still with us. And that vibration was so powerful. And Swamiji had, I'll never forget, we were young and wild, and I remember he had a harmonium. I said, what is that? Then he had a tanpura, and he would pluck that and sing Indian songs that he either heard in India. I mean, nobody had really been to India. This was the 70s. Or he wrote the songs, and everybody said, what is that instrument? And then, of course, he had a gong, and he'd be banging a gong. And wow, I mean, we were just like taken by him. Everything we thought we wanted, we just dissolved being with him, being in that presence, getting the blessing. He had slideshows. He had pictures of India and Indians. You know, we'd never seen Indians. I knew one Indian, Shoki, I think was his name. He lived in the ashram, Shoki or something like that. Maybe it was Ashok, we called him Shoki. But Swamiji had been to India. He had taken 18,000 photographs, not all India, everywhere, all around the world. He said, tonight I'm going to show you India. And he had pictures of Master's birthplace and where Master went, Swami Sri Teswaraji's ashram, the beach where the boys still go to and fro. He had Lahiri Mahashai's house, you know. He had Babaji's cave. I mean, we were going, I mean, I just couldn't believe it. And then he would be playing Indian music, and you just were transported. Now, what happened there? He was giving us a taste of what it's like when you go into the kingdom of God. He was pulling us away from our desires, from the magnetism of his love. And when I got to Ananda, Swamiji said to me, and I meditated on this the other day, he said, this is your home. You should think about living here. Now, he said a lot in that this is your home, like this is your family. This is your spiritual family. This is how you can find God. And that was what drew us. It wasn't philosophy. It wasn't all the outer techniques. It was him and the love we felt because he was drawing us away into the kingdom of God, away from the things we thought were so important, the people we thought were important, the job, the money. It can also all go in any moment. Like, look at the LA fires. Devastated. Just like that. And our Ananda people went down, and they sang for people, they talked to people, they helped people, they brought food, and Ananda collected funds. Even Ananda India, we sent funds for people. I mean, things can go in a moment. You think, oh, this is mine. This is my house. This is my car. And where I live in Delhi, the man who lives below me, he has 5 cars. Every year he gets a new car. I said, how many cars do you need? Think about it. But you fill in the blank. How many clothes? How many, whatever it is, it's just so much. It could be gone like that. You could be gone like that. Forget about that. You could be gone in a moment. And I remember Swamiji, when we lost, I mean, think about it, the whole community was burnt down. LA, yes, but Ananda Village, early on, everybody, but 2 homes, I think, burned to the ground. And all those warriors, they just got up and just kept going strong. They just kept going. And those are the leaders of Ananda. It's not people who just sort of, my house is gone now. Because they were building the foundation for Ananda's existence, which is over 50 plus years now. They just kept marching forward. And when Swamiji, 3 temples came down. I think 1 burned down, 2 fell down. And Jyotishji said the one he had helped Swamiji with, I think it was the one that blew down. But at any rate, he saw Swamiji there lying down on the ground in a sleeping bag, and he was near him, and he thought, he must be feeling so bad. This is how people are when their thing is gone. I feel so bad. I mean, it's like a kid. I feel bad. I mean, I mean, really, devotees need to be stronger than that. Give it to Divine Mother. If it's gone, it's gone. So he went there and he thought Swamiji feels so bad. And what did he hear? Swamiji saying quietly, joy, 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 joy. He had given it to God. Joy. And the next day, Swamiji, you heard the story, he was going to a nearby store and he was singing. I saw it. It wasn't like he did it once in his lifetime. He did it all the time. He was living in the spine. He was seeking God every moment, and it was pulsating in his spine. And he had very beautiful things, but he wasn't attached. People are attached to everything. So he was singing there, and the local store, and they said, "Didn't your temple burnt to the ground or fell down or whichever one?" And he said, "Yes, I lost a temple. I didn't lose my voice." Isn't it? These are wonderful stories to meditate on. Because if we're really saying we're seeking God, morning and evening in your sadhana, and Swamiji said at the end of the day, build a mental bonfire, put everything in there. This is not mine. This isn't mine. This isn't mine. I offer it to you. I offer everything, my whole being, my prosperity, my health, my wealth, my friends, my children, my house, my car. People have on the altar everything. It's my jewelry. My jewelry is my possession, my land. Well, the devotee gives everything to God. And as you do, sahaja, you feel free. A yogi should feel free. How many times have I moved in India? I hope it's the last. I have moved 15 times in 20 years because I can. Divine Mother wants me there, I go. She wants you there, go. No, it's not, no, I can't go anywhere. Just be free. And how do you get free? Kriya, seva, all the practices. Every day, feel freer and freer in yourself. How? From the bliss you feel in the spine. Swamiji, at the end of his life, he said very often, I'm mainly in bliss now. Meaning, there was no attachments. There was no desires. I'm mainly in bliss now. And for all of us, try to be in it daily. And then when this life is over, we will feel we reached the kingdom of God. Wow, that's gonna be a wonderful day. Aim for it. Walk towards it and enter into that kingdom. Even before then, try every day. Om Shanti Shanti.